After the Minnesota Vikings beat the LA Chargers as underdogs, we just went over this, and I love that game. Just a great game from the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are now 4-5 at the division, or 4-5 in the NFC, and second in the division. Not where we expected to be at this point in the season. As we saw how great the Vikings can play against the Chargers, yet they haven't been able to do so in the previous games. And Vikings have come down to the wire. In every game the Vikings have lost, all 5 games, it's come down to the wire. The last play of the game. Every single time. So Vikings are a lot better than their record says that they are. And they're the best non-playoff team in the NFL right now. The Minnesota Vikings are. Non-biased, they are. Because of all the losses that they have had, they are. We should have beat the Cardinals. We should have beat, I could put the list on and on about playoff teams that we should have beat this season. But anyway, I still think Vikings are going to make the playoffs. I do. Vikings are 4-5. I mean, there's 7 teams making the playoffs in the NFC right now, or this season finally and going forward. There's 7 teams making the playoffs in the NFC. Vikings are a top 7 team in the NFC. No question. Vikings are a top 7 team in the NFC. Now, okay, let me set this straight. I know the Vikings are better off losing the rest of their games. I know they are. Because the Vikings can get a better draft pick, they'll move on from Mike Zimmer, they'll do a head coaching change, and being able to rebuild this Vikings team as a whole. I don't care. I want to see my Vikings team win. I'm going to cheer for my Vikings team to win week in, week out. You have 2 categories. 2 categories of Vikings fans. You have the Vikings fans over here. These are your, we'll call them the know-it-all Vikings fans. The Vikings fans who say, we should lose the rest of the game. We should tank, trade everybody away, try to kill the rest of the season because, yes, it is better for the team. I'll admit it is better for the team as a whole. When you look at the franchise going forward, it is better. And then you have me on the complete opposite side, the hopeful Vikings fan who is hoping, cheering for the Vikings to win every week, cheering for the Vikings to continue to make good plays. And yes, we want our team to win week in and week out, and I believe the Vikings can make a playoff berth. One thing, though, that all Vikings fans, both sides have in common, together, we want Mike Zimmer fired. Not only do we want Mike Zimmer fired, but we know we can't compete for a Super Bowl. So no matter who you are, you want this to happen. So whatever happens with the Vikings season, we all can agree Mike Zimmer is going to be fired. Vikings aren't going to compete for a Super Bowl. So in reality, I understand where they are coming from, but I'm still going to cheer for my Vikings to win week in and week out because I don't know how the Lions can take it. Seeing their team lose, I mean, they're still a winless team. They just tied against the Pittsburgh Steelers, still are a winless team in the NFL. I don't know how they do this week in and week out. I mean, they would have to be cheering for their team to lose. Can you even watch the game at that point? I don't know. I still have to cheer for my Vikings team to win no matter what record they are. But with that aside, I understand that that's the best for the Vikings team, but I'll be making my case on why the Vikings will be making the playoffs. Now, Vikings, first you're going to take a look at your division winners. Okay, we are over half of the way through the season now. We're going into week 11. We're over halfway through the season. If you take a look at this, we have an idea of who our division winners are going to be. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win in the NFC East. The Packers, unfortunately, are going to win in the NFC North. We know that to be true. In the NFC West, it's either going to be the Cardinals or the Rams. In the NFC South, it'll be anybody but the Falcons. I mean, anybody but the Falcons are going to win in the NFC South. And then for the wild cards, we have 3 wild card spots. We have the 5th seed, which would go to either the Cardinals or the Rams, whoever doesn't win their division. And then you have the 6th and 7th seed. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the 6th seed goes to the Saints right now. The 7th seed goes to the Panthers. Now, I've watched just about every NFC or every football game so far this season, whether that was live or pre-recorded. I've watched just about every NFL game this season. Vikings are better than the Saints and Panthers. I can say that with a fact because, yes, the Panthers might have Cam Newton back and he might have just come off of a great game. Saints might have a solid defense. And when I say a solid defense, they have a great defense and an amazing coaching staff. Saints offense is terrible. I mean, Kamara, he might be coming back next week. Even if Kamara's back, Vikings are still better than Saints. Vikings are better than the Panthers. We proved that. We already beat the Panthers. We know that the Vikings are better than the Panthers. They can't decide who their starting quarterback is right now. So neither can the Saints. So as a whole, Vikings are better than both those teams. And the Vikings should be able to outcompete for that wild card spot with those teams right now. You take a look at all of the wild card contenders. When I say wild card contenders, I'm not talking about the 5th seed. I'm talking about the 6th and 7th seed in the NFC. You take a look at the wild card contenders. These are all of your 400 or plus teams right now in the NFC. Like I said, you have the Saints and Panthers, who are 5-4 and 5-5. And then after that, you have your 4-win teams. You have the Minnesota Vikings, who are at 4-5, Falcons 4-5, 49ers 4-5. Yes, 49ers are a 400+ team because Deebo Samuel just embarrassed the LA Rams on Monday Night Football. And I like to see that. I mean, I was cheering for the Rams to win, but again, I like to see how the 49ers as underdogs can step up against a serious team. Not only a serious team, but a powerhouse of a team right now. And then the Eagles are at 4-6. 49ers just own the Rams right now. And then Eagles are at 4-6. We're really going to count the Eagles out here. But when you look at the rest of them, Vikings are the best in this list. Saints, Panthers, Vikings, Falcons, 49ers, Eagles. Vikings are the best. They are. Non-bias, Vikings are the best team in this list. Saints might have a better defense. Panthers might have a better defense. Saints might have a better coaching staff. But as a whole, when you factor in the offense, when you factor in play calling, when you factor in coaching staff, everything, Vikings are the best team on this list. Why will the Vikings make the playoffs? Because going forward, we have a tough schedule. We do. And that's the only thing holding the Vikings back. However, if we can bring the same team we brought against the Chargers, not even the same team, the same offense we brought against the Chargers, against the Packers, against the Steelers, against the Rams, I mean, I doubt we're going to beat the Rams, but against all of these upcoming games that we have, Vikings should be making a playoff berth. Whether that's a 6th or a 7th seed, Vikings should be making a run in the playoffs. Do I think the Vikings are going to make a run for the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. Vikings will either be an easy out in the playoffs or a one and done in the playoffs. But Vikings should be making a run in the 6th or 7th seed of the NFC. So if you take a look at the tiebreakers for the NFL, so if the Vikings finish with a tie against one of these NFC teams, we have the tiebreaker already on a lot of them. You take a look at the Saints. Right now, the Saints are 4-3 in the conference. So Saints are the best on this list when you're looking at their conference record and in their current record, their NFL record. We have the tiebreaker against the Panthers as we already beat them in an overtime win. If the Vikings finish with an even record against the Panthers, we will have them beat. Vikings are 3-2 in the conference. So Vikings are 3-2 in the conference. That means 3 of our losses are against AFC teams. The AFC North, we haven't even beat an AFC North team so far this season. Hopefully we can beat the Steelers later in this year. Falcons are 2-5 in the conference. That's brutal. Okay, we have the record over the Falcons already just off of that alone on the conference record. 49ers, we will play the 49ers week 12. So if we finish with an even record against the 49ers or tied record against the 49ers, whoever had the head-to-head win will be getting that edge. And then the Eagles are 3-3 in the conference. So yeah, they're only one team that has that has the tiebreaker on us right now, and that is the New Orleans Saints. And even if the New Orleans Saints get the 6th seed, we can get the 7th seed if we get a tie against these teams. Minnesota Vikings should be making a run for the playoffs. Why? Like I said already, if the Vikings bring the same offense they brought against the Chargers week in and week out, Vikings will be making a run for the playoffs as a 6th or a 7th seed. They just have to. If you just run your offense through Justin Jefferson, and then you obviously use that pass to set up the run, I can't believe I'm saying this. Using the pass to set up the run, I haven't said this since 2017 Vikings. I mean, it's been Dalvin Cook the last 3 years. And I'm fine with that. I mean, Dalvin Cook got us some big time wins, and I'm completely fine with that. But now it's Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, and then Dalvin Cook. Now, I'm not ranking them here. I'm saying you have to use the pass, and then you can run, obviously, after that. So you're just loaded with playmakers is what I'm saying here. The Vikings offense is loaded with playmakers, front, back, and center. And the Vikings, if they bring the same offense week in and week out, should be making a run for the playoffs as a 6th or as a 7th seed. And what would the record have to be? I mean, any 10-win team now with 17 games on the record and 7 teams making the playoffs, any 10-win team should be making the playoffs. It should happen. Vikings are 4-5 right now, so that means 5-4 going forward. We know the Vikings can finish 5-4 in the upcoming games. We know that to be true. If you're a 10-win team now, you should be making the playoffs, as there are 7 teams making the playoffs. If you're a 10-win team, Vikings 5-4 going forward. Yes, we have a tough schedule, but the only 5 games we have to win. So yes, okay, we'll take a look at this. Minnesota Vikings. Let's take a look at this upcoming schedule. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so we play the Packers twice. We played the 49ers, the Steelers, the Rams. Yikes. Okay, so we do have a very tough schedule going forward. But again, we're 1-0 in the division right now. So if we just split with the Packers, say we split with the Packers, we beat the Lions again. Obviously, we're going to put that out there. We beat the Bears twice. Now we're 3-1 in the division. Great performance from the Vikings. Even if we lose against the Packers once, 49ers, Steelers, and Rams, that's 4 losses. Those are just teams that potentially we could lose to. Vikings are still finishing 5-4 going forward. And 49ers, I believe the Vikings are better than the 49ers and Steelers right now. So if you're taking a look at who's the better team, Vikings should be finishing with 11 wins. That's 6 wins going forward. That's tough. That is tough. Actually, as a whole, am I doing my math right? Because I have 4 and 5. Yeah, I'm doing my math right. Okay, yeah, so 5-4 going forward. Minnesota Vikings can be making the playoffs. I'd put it above 50% chance right now. I mean, looking at that schedule, Packers twice, 49ers, Steelers, Rams, we got some tough games. I'd put it about a 50% chance that the Vikings make the playoffs now because that's a tough schedule. It really comes down to if the Vikings can beat the Packers. If they split with the Packers, Vikings are making the playoffs. They just have to. It just has to happen. For us to make the playoffs, though, you got to cheer against the Saints and Panthers. I mean, I don't have to tell you to cheer against the Saints if you're Vikings fans, but you have to cheer against the Saints and the Panthers going forward if you want the Vikings to make the playoffs because they are the 2 teams above us right now. And then obviously anybody else on the list you'll be cheering against, but just cheering against the Saints and Panthers going forward. Minnesota Vikings should be making the playoffs, whether that's as a 6th or as a 7th seed. Above 50% chance. Let me know what y'all think.